Okay. We had an unbelievable windstorm come through here last night and knocked another limb down on Beverly's yard, and we got sticks everywhere. Even on the roof of this shop, I got sticks and branches and big mess. But we did get about a 1/4 inch of rain. Boy, that was a lifesaver. I mean, our grass is green again just overnight. It was starting to turn brown. So here I am. I'm going to start my second matched set, and these are going to be mirror polished. So it's going to be a very long, lengthy project. I have the wood right there, and the gentleman that bought my very first match set with a Cocobolo handles, he let me know that he was very happy, except with the sharpening. I left a burr, and I know that I really need to improve my sharpening skills. Let me tell you the problems that I've encountered and why I'm having difficulty getting a perfect edge on every knife. First and foremost, my hands are so painfully arthritic. These two fingers, the middle finger I had cut off, sewed it back on when I was just a kid. And at the same time, this finger was cut pretty much halfway off. And the third finger was damaged. You can still see a scar just north of my ring. And this, you can see knuckle and tendon sticking up. And this right here was cut pretty much half. And right here was cut pretty much in half. And then, so I lived with this my whole life, this is why my right arm is twice the size of my left arm, because I only use my left hand for steadying and my right hand for all the hard lifting and heavy work. And then I went and broke my thumb in the oil field, and I had to have surgery to put it back right because I thought I could fix it myself. So this thumb is very, very weak. Okay. I'm using a system that requires lots of grip strength, and I have that for short periods, but then it starts hurting. So I have to find another way to sharpen these knives, because when you spend the money that I charge on a knife, you have the right to expect it to be perfect in every way, including the edge. And that is the only area that I see that I'm failing in. And I need to address this. Now, I have another sharpening system, and it works great, except the stones wear out very, very quickly, and they're really expensive to replace. And they do make cheaper stones, but they wear out twice as quick. So, it's just it's a good system if you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 knives a year, but when you're doing 1 or 2 or 3 knives a week, it's just not cost effective, and I can't afford to pay the money for the good stones just to get, 4 or 5 knives out of it. This, where that screwdriver is right there, is the Lansky system. It's a good system. It is not designed for the type of repetitive, constant sharpening that I'm doing. And don't forget, I'm sharpening from no edge. It's not like I'm touching up an edge that's already there. I'm starting with a square, blunt edge that I have to first sharpen a bevel onto it, and then second, go through the process of sharpening it. And you can't put this on the belt grinder. If you put it on your belt grinder, you're going to ruin the temper. Now, possibly, if I had a 2x72, I could bring my speed down on my belt grinder and, you know, at least start the edge on the belt grinder, but I don't. My belt grinder moves at a very high RPM, and it's not one of them that you can turn down, slow down. It has a single RPM, and that's what it works at. So the belt grinder, you know, starting the edge on the belt grinder is out of the question. So I got to figure out a way to address that. There is something called the Tormek wet sharpener. It's very expensive, and that's why I don't have it. But I just don't see any other way for me to put a good edge on these without spending big money once. Now they do make a cheaper one made by Wen, W-E-N, but I've read a lot of reviews on them, and the stones, you know, it's a 2-inch wide stone, and they're not round, they're not concentric, and even when you true them, they don't sit on the shaft square. So when you true it, and then, you know, all you do is bump it once and it's auto true again. So the Wen system I thought about getting, actually I think Redbeard Ops has one, and I may send him a message and ask him what, he's had it about a year now, and I may ask him what he thinks about it. Anyway, I'm fixing to get my shop dirty. I'm fixing to grind the, I got it mostly put back together. I got to get my wife's taking a break chair put in here, and right now she's over there cleaning up the damage from the storm we had come through here yesterday. So anyway, let me get the edges on this. Wish me luck. The last set, the edges, the bevels came out perfect, and cross your fingers, because I'm gonna try to make these come out just as good as those. Well, yeah, I have another piece of good news. I feed the cat right up here. As a matter of fact, in that corner. She comes down there, and I set her little treats up here, a couple at a time. That way I get my hand near her several times. Well, today, for the first time, I held my hand up there still, and she smelled it and smelled it and smelled it all the way up to my wrist. And then she took her head and rubbed her head on my hand. That's a huge step. 3.5 years I've been feeding that cat, trying to get close to her. And now I can put my hand right in front of her face, as long as it contains treats. And this morning she actually rubbed her head on my hand, so that's some progress. All right, here we go. Let's grind. All right, there's one side. Now I got to duplicate it on the other side. And I'm making a new jig. I don't have the, I got to order some stuff. And the reason is this catches and hesitates. And I'm going to make one out of aluminum here, a stainless steel piano hinge. I'm going to mill an aluminum block here. This is going to be stainless, and this will probably be aluminum up here. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, but whatever it is will be stainless. And the handles, I'm going to have some different handles, but it's going to be just about like this. Not much different. A little bit longer. But, and then I've ordered a new table. I got to do something about this table here. It's same thing. You know, you would think. Plus it melts up here when the sparks hit it. So I've got to do something, and I'm going to. I ordered a piece of steel. 1/4 inch by 24 inch. I don't need it 24, but you can only get it in 12, 24, so forth. 12 inch segments. So won't be long. I'll be able to eliminate these tiny little things that ultimately affect the bevel. And then it'll just be my hands, you know, my hands and my eyes that either make a good bevel or don't. So if I could eliminate the little bitty things, it pays off in a big way at the end of the bevel. So, all right, I'm gonna turn this over, get the other side done. Oh God, all right. I had a little bit of a bobble right here, but I can fix that through hand sanding, and I will, and that will go away quickly. But I've got an excellent start, and I hope I can repeat it here. These bevels, by the way, they're the exact same depth or height, and I'm trying to make these as like twins, basically, except one's taller than the other. Already, yeah, I've already. It's hard to look at that after all this hard work. But as soon as I get the edge, the bevels ground on this one, I'm gonna clean that up. I'm gonna try to do a better job of cleaning up as I go, because it's just so much easier to stop, clean for 2 minutes, and then move on to a next step. Because I'm not going to apologize for having a clean shop. There has been people that suggested that I don't make knives because my shop is so clean, and at first I was joking. Yeah, that's what I do. Go out here and nap and pet my dog, and I don't make knives. But there was so many people that actually said that I was thinking, well, if you don't want a clean shop and that's your thing, nobody cares. Why do you care if my shop is clean? It's my thing. I like working in a clean, neat, orderly environment. That's all there is to it, and I'm not going to apologize for liking a clean shop. What about you? You could care less as long as you got a blanket. All right, let's get this one on the grinding jig. All right, I got a good start. Now, you clean up my mess. There we go. About 90 seconds. And now we sand. I think I'm gonna start with a little one. Yeah. And what I'm gonna do first is sand the grind lines off, and the flats, get them all one grit. And I think I'm probably going to start with 150. We'll see. I may have to go to 120 because I'm taking it off the grinder at 60 grit, so I got a lot of sanding to do. And then as I progress in grits, it gets a little bit easier and a little bit easier. Here we go. Oh, okay. I got a good start on these, and I'm not going to kill myself. Today's Sunday, and, I got 2 knives started. The bevels come out great, and that's a good start. I think that's all I'm going to do today. So, here we go. I'll be back tomorrow, or, I don't know, we may have to go to Walmart or something. I am going to buy another one of these. Somebody asked me why I didn't just change the labels, but I've got this drawer taped together around the side and on the bottom and around the back. And what happened was this thing fell, and all 3 drawers were full, and all 3 drawers broke. The top one was so bad I couldn't even save it. This one and this one, I was able to, hold it together with some duct tape. But these are just a few dollars, so I'm going to get another one. Well, that's a whole lot. I just realized how scary I look. That is like a light bulb. Years ago, I used to shave my head. When I started going bald, I said, screw it. And I shaved my head. But it's a lot of work keeping your head shaved. It is. And, I'm not one of them that care that I'm bald. There's a lot of guys that just freak out over losing their hair, and I'm not one of them. I done got my woman's, so I don't have to be handsome anymore. So I kind of like my head shaved. I may About once a week, shave my head. Trim my beard. Yeah, I even trim my eyebrows. Because when you get old, there's a couple things that grow. When you start losing your hair and you start getting a little older, first thing you're going to notice, young fellas, is that your eyebrows become this. You could actually comb your eyebrows over and do a comb over. And then your ear hair. I don't know, God has a cruel sense of humor. When the hair falls off your head, all of a sudden you have this jungle of hair growing out of your ears, and your eyebrows become this jungle of a mess. And you turn your head, and then your eyebrows come a couple of seconds later. It's not that bad, but it is amazing the hair that starts growing out of weird places when you lose the hair in your head. So a friend of mine sent me a little bit more footage of his bobcat and the dog playing, having an argument. They're having a play argument, but it's pretty cool. Turn it up, and you'll hear that bobcat give a little bobcat yowl. And I told my wife about roof cat, rubbing her head against my hand. That's a huge step too. Had a bunch of firsts today. Yeah. First time I've shaved my head in about, probably 8 or 9 years. I mean, I always keep it close. I take my beard trimmer and trim it just close because it's just easier to take care of. And I used to, when I had a little more hair, whatever length I cut my beard, I'd just cut my hair the same length. I haven't been to a barber in probably 20 years, or more than that. You know, my wife and I, we've been married 32 years now, and I haven't been to a barber the whole time her and I have been married. I've cut my own hair. That's about how long the hair, what is that, male pattern baldness disease started affecting my head. So, have a good Monday, y'all. Okay, I'm making a spamlet, and this is going to be a huge omelet. Huge. Okay. All right, let me go beat those eggs. And, okay, we'll be back. Well, the grass came back. We had, look, can you see how steamy it is out here? I mean, it's like living in a cloud. That's how thick the humidity here is. And it's been like this the whole time I've lived in Louisiana and Texas. We've experienced this level, 100% humidity. It makes it very, very hard to breathe. Let's see if my cat is up on the roof over there. No, I don't see her. She usually is right underneath that, right there underneath that eave. If she's on the roof, that's where she is. So I'm gonna eat my spamlet, and today we're making 2 knives, grinding the bevels anyway. Yeah, we had about a 1/4 inch of rain yesterday. Sure was nice to see that. And it happened in about half an hour. Then we lost power all night long. Woke me up about 10 times because I have a CPAP, and every time the power goes out, of course, I choke to death. Oh, and there's also a rumor going around that cake may make an appearance today. We'll be looking forward to that. We've been cakeless for about a week and a half. Come on, haven't got all 30 minutes. Okay, let us build. We're building the spamlet. All right, I'm needing both hands to get that on there. All right, here we go. Don't you stick on there. All right, let me get it in a plate. Lord, thank you very much for this food. What'd you say, hon?
I said, man, I tell you, but
Oh.
thanking the Lord for this food.
Oh, Lordy, that's good. All right. I'm going to watch a video and eat my breakfast.